What's going on, guys? Dawko back again. Hope you're fantastic today, and welcome to the interview with Scott Crawford.
Really, nigga?
You mentioned during the interview that you've watched Matt Pat's theories and stuff. Has there ever been a theorist or somebody you've watched on YouTube and you thought, you know what, this is actually quite close or like very accurate to the story I wanted to tell, or something like that? Like if they were right, close to being right, or something.
Yeah, but I can't say anything whenever I see that.
Yeah.
You know, but like I said, I can't jump in and confirm it, because then people would stop caring at all. Then they would just wait for me to come out and give the answer.
To say something.
So I would just have to look at that. That's why I would just have to look at that comment and just kind of nod to myself, like, you got it. You know, you got it right, friend. But
you can't say anything.
But no one's gonna ever know. You know?
Has that been hard to do that, to stop yourself from, you know, trying to reveal stuff? Because I remember a while ago, in the Matt Pat's live stream, when we were all involved, you were putting things on the website about like some little hints and stuff to try and like guide us to the right direction. but we still never got it.
It has been difficult, and the times that I have tried to step in and say something have usually been mistakes. Because that's part of the fun of it, right? You know, people, you know, the discussion is just as much fun as, well, that's what it's all about. You know, people really enjoy that, and the times that I've stepped into, I don't know, I've learned to just focus on making the games, and let the community do the talking, and they really enjoy that. But sometimes I'll see, like I said, sometimes see someone say something that was way out there, and I want to jump in and say, no, that's not like one of the big things for a while was, you know, whenever Sister Location first came out, there was adult theory. You know, you know, and I saw that, and I'm like, oh no, you know, and it wasn't completely off base. Like I could see where it was being derived from, so it's not like it was someone just trying to cause trouble for no reason. It was just a theory. But I was like I have to step in, like I have to do something to fix this right away, and my response to that, to fix it, evolved into, you know, a pretty simple solution. I would just release a new teaser that would just kind of steer it in the correct direction. You know, and that was the right way to handle it. It's not to directly interact with the community, but to just release a new teaser, you know, that just kind of guides it back. And I did that very soon, like within a couple of days after adult theory gaining popularity, and I kind of guided it back to where it was supposed to be. And then, like I said, sometimes someone would get a good idea, but I can't say anything about that either. You know, I've just tried to monitor the community, monitor the comments, monitor the theories, and then when the group as a whole starts getting the wrong idea, that usually means that, you know, sometimes it just means that I need to do a better job of storytelling, and then I try to use that as kind of course correction for the next thing that I do to guide the story the right way, you know? Yeah,
exactly. Have I ever been right on anything? Like close to anything at all? Or have I just been completely wrong for 4 years?
That's a difficult question to answer, because there are really two kinds of people there are two kinds of theorists, you know? One kind is the kind of viewer or member or whatever who takes all the known facts and only uses those to put together a storyline, you know, which is kind of what, you know, Matt Pat does. And then the other kind is taking those few facts and then you just ad-libbing a lot more, taking more creative freedom as to where the story might go. You know, so in other words, one type is trying to figure out what happened, and the other type is the kind that tries to figure out what might happen, like after another 6 months or after another year, after the next game or whatever, you know, and then try to figure it out. So one is much more speculative than the other. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So it's hard to, you know, that being the case, it's hard to gauge people as how right or how wrong they were whenever whenever a lot of people are, you know, obviously adding a lot more of their own imagination to the mix, you know what I mean? But I cannot, all right, I'll say this. I cannot remember a time whenever I watched one of your theory videos and just rolled my eyes like, oh my gosh, you know,
okay.
He's lost it, you know, so.
Okay, I'll take that. Yeah, because I'm like, I just do videos on just ideas and stuff. Like, if I have an idea, I just say it, and because I like to try and make the community expand more. Do you know what I mean? Not just set their mind on one idea. Like, you know, with any theory, there's always multiple ideas to something, and that's what I tried to do with Ultimate Custom Night and stuff recently, is try to give the community ideas to have their own judgment on the game. I think MatPat has a lot of pressure to just do one set plan, because if he tries to go with other ideas and stuff, his audience start to think like, well, hold on here, you're going all over the place, you're telling us loads of ideas and not just one solid idea.
Well, I mean, you know, he's got a lot more pressure on him, obviously, just because of, you know, the audience. Yeah. You know, that goes with anything else. There's always going to be a lot more pressure on him, and a lot more scrutiny and a lot more criticism, you know, focused on him. You know, I think he's managed it really well without.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, I think he's done really well. You know, and yeah, like I was saying, that's why it's hard to tell you if you've ever been really right or really wrong, because you lean more into the speculative crowd.
Yeah,
you know, your theories are much more speculative about what could be going on, rather than trying to put together solid timelines and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Next question I'd like to ask is, how is the movie going? Because I know a lot of people have been wondering about this.
The movie's been going really well. You know, the first few years of the franchise, everybody was trying to get a movie out as fast as possible, like to catch the hype wave and stuff. But now looking back, I'm really glad that didn't happen, because something I've really started to come to want over these last few years is, I want that movie to be able to stand on its own as a good movie and not ride the coattails of a different part of the franchise, you know, because then, you know, for instance, you know, if you were to make a movie that just had the name Five Nights at Freddy's without a whole lot of emphasis on the quality of the movie itself, then yeah, if it happened during the peak of the popularity of Five Nights at Freddy's, it would do really well. But if the franchise as a whole, you know, had waned a little bit, then the movie wouldn't do well either. Like, I want the movie to stand on its own. I want the movie to be good on its own right. I want it to be a great movie. And for that reason, I'm really glad it didn't happen in those first few years, because I think too much emphasis would have been placed on getting it out as fast as possible. And, you know, one of the challenges with the movie, and one of the reasons why it has taken so long, it's actually really difficult to make a script of this. I've had the privilege of working with a couple of studios now, obviously, talked to a lot of directors. I've had a lot of scripts come across my desk. I've had a lot of ideas pitched. And, you know, one of the biggest challenges, and I've written 3 scripts on my own. And I've struggled, honestly, with the same problem as lots of these other directors, which is just the fact that with 8 games, 5 books, including the security log book and the I forget the name of the other
Files.
one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, so with the 8 games, 5 books, you know, just thousands over thousands of videos and fan theories and this and that and timelines and all this stuff. Too many, you know, the people I worked with so far have either looked at it all, been completely overwhelmed, and decided to do something completely original, just start completely over, and obviously that doesn't work. And a couple other guys have tried to incorporate everything into some, you know, master script that includes every aspect, every character, every idea, and obviously that doesn't work either, because then it's just a dumpster fire. It's just too much to squeeze into 2 hours. You can't do it. You know, you cannot do it. And, you know, originally the script was going to be based on the books, which eventually I decided was not the way to go. You know, the books were originally designed for people who just wanted extra stories. You know, they wanted a little bit more detail, more story, but that was never intended to be the definitive story of Five Nights at Freddy's, and people who go to see the movie aren't going to want to see a retelling of the books. They're going to want to see the first game. They're going to want to see a retelling of the story that got them interested in the first place. You know, the first game had the right atmosphere, the right characters, and that's what people are going to want. And ideally, if the first movie does really well, I think it would work great as a trilogy. Five Nights at Freddy's 1, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and Five Nights at Freddy's 3, based on the first 3 games. I'm not going to go into the first movie with that mentality, though. You know, I've seen too many good movies get kind of sidetracked by trying to set up future movies. I'm not going to fall into that. I'm just going to really focus on telling a good story with this first one. But yeah, I've seen some interesting things, and I'm going to try to be really careful, you know, not to sound critical of some of the ideas that I've seen, because, like I said, you know, there were a lot of challenges to writing a script for this, even for me, because there's just so much information. But there are some things that I'm really glad never made it. You know, and one of them being that something that I actually heard on, I think it was a Matt Pat on a live stream, was musing about bad ideas that could potentially happen in a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. And one of the ones that he just brushed off and laughed about was the idea of plush toys coming to life. And I heard that, and that's another time where I wanted to jump in and say something, but I knew that I couldn't, because that is something that actually could have happened. You know, it wasn't a full-blown script, but somebody had that idea and could have implemented it, and there wouldn't have been a whole lot that I could have done about it at the time. So that's a scary thought, and that's kind of the risk, you know, of not really understanding a franchise really well, and then trying to come up with something that's I don't know, that would have been that would have been really bad. But yeah, I heard him mention that comment on his live stream. I was thinking to myself, you have no idea that actually almost happened. That specific idea, plush toys coming to life and taking over Manhattan, that actually almost happened.
I actually kind of want to see that now, though.
Well, you know, I don't know. It just, maybe it would work better with a different name, but
yeah, I mean, the community's so talented and stuff. Maybe they could make a little cartoon or something, like an animation of it happening as a joke.
I don't know, man. but yeah, in short, though, I think that everything's where it needs to be right now. You know.
So what's next? You got any future projects or anything that you're working on?
I'm going to try to take life a little easier, I think. I did finally get a couple of big deals signed with some companies, and I'll be able to provide details on that later. But there are a few big things in the works that are happening right now, which is the virtual reality game is going, and the augmented reality game is going. I know most people, you know, the only example they can think of for augmented reality would be Pokemon Go. You know, but really, augmented reality game just means, you know, you hold up your phone and then things are kind of overlaid on the screen. Yeah. You know, it's kind of half and half between what you're really seeing and then something superimposed. So, I don't think it's not going to have any kind of, you know, you're not going to be running through the bushes in your neighbor's yard trying to catch Freddy Fazbear or anything like that. You know, it's going to be something. I'm thinking it'll be kind of like a party game, something to do with your friends. You know, creeping through the dark, you know, creeping through your house, and then somebody's going to jump out at you. Yeah. But that's in the early stages. But I think it's going to be really cool. So that's in the works. And I'm in talks with a company right now to start porting Five Nights at Freddy's to major consoles right now, and I'm going to hold off on that because, you know, until I have more details on it. Yeah. But yeah, you know, I'm really encouraged by that. For the longest time, I wasn't willing to sign on with any companies because I was keeping the series too tight under wraps. You know, I really wanted to be protective of the story. I didn't want other companies to come in and add characters. I didn't want other companies to come in and add storylines. Yeah. And I'm still holding on to that. You know, my deals with them are very, very specific. Mm-hmm. You know, they don't have free reign to add storylines and characters. But I am more open to getting help now. I'm more open to letting other companies do what I can't do. Like, I don't know how to make an augmented reality game. I can't do that on my own. I don't know how to make a virtual reality game. I can't do that on my own.
Yeah.
So,
awesome.
Yeah, I'm working really closely. And I've done my best to pick really good people to work with. So, yeah, good things. Exciting,
very exciting. So we've got these the VR, the AR, the movie, possible console port. So yeah, really excited. So I think a lot of people are going to be excited for those, definitely. If you could get the second, I think you've just answered this, but this is a little bit different. If you could get a second chance to go back to 2013-14, would you do it all over again in the same way?
I don't know. I don't think I'd go back and... I mean, obviously there are little details I want to maybe polish up on, but no, I wouldn't change anything. I mean, in 2014, I think I mentioned this on an online interview, but I was considering making another Legacy of Flan game, which is some series I used to make, some obscure series I used to work on many years ago that like 2 people know about, or work on another, or work on a sequel to Desolate Hope, or make an indie horror game, featuring security cameras, and that was a long decision, and it could have gone any direction, and then I chose the indie horror game, and then same thing with the sequel. After I made the first one, I almost didn't make a sequel to it. I was considering 2 or 3 different game ideas. But no, everything turned out for the best, I think. I wouldn't go back and mess with it.
Did your family, through the course of these years, give you any good ideas, or did they implement anything in any way, or influence the story?
Well, I will tell you, my oldest son Ian, he contributed an idea for the first game that has become iconic to the series, and the series could not go on without it.
Right.
And I need to take a moment to give him full credit for that. My son Ian, after they had been beta testing, I was like, hey, so do you guys have any suggestions for anything? Like, what do y'all think I should add to this? And Ian said, you should make it so that when you click on Freddy's nose, it honks. and I was like, oh, that'd be kind of a fun Easter egg.
Yeah.
So I added it in, and now the rest is history. Like a game can't go by without being able to click on Freddy's nose. Like, it's become just,
We all expect it. Yeah.
So big shout out to Ian for
Thank you, Ian,
for coming up with that.
That's awesome.
But I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, it's just nice to have a support group. It's great to have people around you who just support you. Yeah, I mean, that's really the most important thing, even more important than directly contributing ideas. It's just people who are around you and love you and support you and they encourage you to try one more time. You can't find anything more valuable than that.
Yeah, you're exactly right there. Yeah. Do you have any favorite games? I think you said before that you liked Mega Man, or am I completely wrong here?
All right. Well, I'm definitely a retro gamer. Whenever I pick a system to play on, I never go beyond Super Nintendo. So I'm stuck in 1993. I have my Nintendo and I have my Super Nintendo. All the games that I play are on those two. And yeah, and I pick a game every once in a while that I'll try to really, master, whatever. Yeah, Mega Man 3 was my big accomplishment. I could play through that game buster only. Very proud of it. And only recently, I know this will be really random, but recently I found a new gem that defeated me as a kid, which is UN Squadron on Super Nintendo. It's a side-scrolling airplane game. Used to tear me apart as a kid, but now I've been really playing that every day and dedicating myself to it. And I beat it on normal mode. Now I'm fighting through on hard mode. Just whenever I get a chance. I don't have a whole lot of time to play games.
I mean, a few days ago, by the way, on the Reddit, a lot of people were posting things about your birthday, right? A lot of people would like to know when your birthday actually is, if you're allowed to say. It's just so we can say happy birthday.
Okay. Yeah, there's been a lot of confusion about this. Yes, because depending on what year you would try to look me up, a different birthday would appear on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
in a different picture.
Yes, the original picture. Yep, I remember that.
So I'll just tell us right now. My birthday is February 31st.
Okay. For some reason, I've always thought it was like summer. For some reason. So February, awesome. Okay, so that's the wrap for the interview. Apart from one final thing, would you like to say any final thoughts to the people?
I think I would just like to make sure everybody out there knows how much I really appreciate this fan base, and just how much I appreciate all of the support. Before all this Five Nights at Freddy's stuff had started, and I had just made the Desolate Hope, I was online and I found one piece of fan art that someone had made of the Desolate Hope characters. Mm-hmm. You know, just randomly. I have no idea who it was. I have no idea what happened to that picture. But, you know, that was so special to me, seeing that someone out there had enjoyed that game and drawn one of those characters. Like, that was just incredible to me. It made me feel so good. Made my day, made my week, made my month. You know, and so now to be able to, you know, go online and just see this, you know, incredible community of people, you know, with people that have 10 times the artistic talent as I do, you know, with all this, you know, with this fan art, you know, these fan games, you know, I mean, there are some incredible games out there, and I don't want to, like, I'm scared to mention names of anyone because I know that I'm going to leave out important ones, you know, but I mean, you know, like seeing these, you know, insane games that Nixon comes up with, you know, and, you know, and I've always heard nothing but good things about, like, the storylines in Pop Goes. And then, you know, the artistic direction of games like Flumpties, you know, and this, like, everybody has these specialties where they just flourish in the stuff that they make, you know, and like, you go into Game Jolt and just see these pages of all these really cool ones, you know, and I picked out a few, but, you know, because, you know, those are probably the more experienced members of the community, but, you know, I don't want to overlook people who are up and coming game designers who decide to make fan games as their first game. You know, and what an honor that is. You know, what an incredible honor that is for someone to want to be a game developer and to have their first couple of games be a Five Nights at Freddy's fan game. You know, it's just such an honor. And like I said, just the incredible artistic community, like on DeviantArt, and anytime I go on Reddit, just these illustrations that people make. And, you know, and I've been fortunate enough to snag a couple of those artists to do official artwork for me. But, you know, and you know, and the memes are great too. I've been very fortunate to see myself featured in memes. You know, not many people get to say that, and to see my characters featured in memes. So that's always exciting. Yeah. But yeah, you know, and just the YouTube community, just, you know, amazing. I mean, you know, you, Razbowski, the Ryans, you know, Corey Kenshin, you know, Fusion. Just this whole community of great YouTubers have just been so supportive over the years. Yeah, I'm just blessed. I'm just really blessed. This isn't so much a thank you as just I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to just be surrounded by just such an incredibly talented community. It's just been an amazing experience. It really has been. Yeah, and for many years to come, by the way, Scott, like, we'll always be supportive with the community and you, always. Well, I'm going to try not to let you guys down, but I hope, you know, I mean, I don't always get these things just right, but I hope everybody in the community believes at least that, you know, just like what I said, you know, how I've been trying to write this script. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean the movie's going to be perfect, and it doesn't mean that these next few games are going to be perfect, but I hope everybody at least believes that my number one goal is to make sure that I don't let anybody out there down. You know, I know that a lot of people enjoy these characters and enjoy these games, and that means the world to me. I'm just going to try not to let anybody down. That's always at the forefront of all of my thoughts, just making sure that I do right by everybody. So yeah, thank you so much, Scott. I really do appreciate it. You know, it's been a long interview, and I really do appreciate the fact that, you know, you took the time to do this.
means a lot to me and everybody watching, of course.
Well, I hope I haven't misspoke anywhere. I hope the fan base will forgive me if I overcomplicate at some point. The last thing I want to do is see a flame war erupt on Reddit right after this interview with everybody taking something that I said. So let me just make the disclaimer again. Like, no lore has been hidden in this interview. Like, this is all off the cuff. Nothing was pre-planned, you know. And this is just some guy, you know, talking about his experiences making the game series. So I hope nobody will read, you know, too much into that, you know. But yeah, this has been a lot of fun, Lewis. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me.
Thank you very much. And yeah, that's what the community's like, though. They try and think about things too much. So yeah.
Well, and I've done that. That's my fault. You know, that this is what I have created. You know?
Curious people. I think that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section about everything. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I really hope that the interview has satisfied you. You know, because there's been a lot of hype for this. So hopefully, like, the questions were good and, you know, everything was perfect for you guys. So yeah, thanks for watching.